love to get you on a slow boat to China. All to myself alone.
Jack followed baseball closely for his whole life, and his seemingly bottomless reservoir of funny stories included several about the off-the-field misdeeds of ballplayers. Jack also told stories about the misadventures of other people, including his friends, but it was always clear that he treasured those friends. If he entertained others with stories about foolishness of mind that he observed over the years, over decades, I can only hope that fondness was evident in those stories too. He kept his friends close, just like that baseball club.
My name's Clyde Haberman. I worked at the New York Post at the same time that Jack did, when it was then owned by Dorothy Schiff before she sold it to Rupert Murdoch. I should back up. I appreciate, Christy, the list of movies. I think Jack, I have a son named Zach. Jack would have greatly appreciated the opportunity to go see Whiskey Tango Foxtrot because those initials, the military alphabet, summed up a lot of what I think Jack felt. So this story happened, I started the Post in November of 1966. A year earlier, the older folks here will remember, we had a huge blackout in New York. I'm going to stop using the word huge now that... Jack was a copy boy then. And the New York Post newsroom, which was, if you ever read A Great Remembrance by Nora Ephron, just, you know, one of the great slums of the world, was on the second floor of a building on West Street, facing the Hudson River. Mrs. Schiff had her office, was it on the 14th floor? So the and you have to understand, Mrs. Schiff ran a paper that was fascinating in many respects. A lot of terrific writers went through it. But she was not exactly a spendthrift. And, I mean, she could squeeze a penny so hard that Lincoln's face would turn. And the blackout occurred, and for some reason it affected the phones too. And there was no way to communicate to her what was going on as the lights went out and communications were dead. And they sent young Jack Robbins, as I heard this story, up 12 flights. We've heard about Jack's work ethic. It may have been the hardest that he put in the paper. He gets up to the 14th floor, and he's panting from this long, long climb. And Dorothy Schiff's secretary, a woman named Jean, said, "Oh boy, you really look exhausted. Do you want anything to drink?" And from the inner office comes this voice saying, "Only water, we're low on scotch." Former wife Nancy Haberman, who we met in that same newsroom, this time it was on South Street, reminds me, again, a great story of Jack's wit, which came up when another colleague, Roberta Brandes Gratz, was writing a story, and she needed the name of a disease that affected primarily Jews of European origin, and she said, "No, not Tay-Sachs, the other one," to which Jack piped up, "Guilt." He was a wonderfully witty man, and his loss, his family's loss is all our loss. I think we all feel it. Thank you.
Trip on that old gospel ship that's going far.